So your lead magnet needs to give people enough of a reason to be willing to give you their email address. Okay. And so my rule of thumb is that you typically want your lead magnet to solve some immediate problem pretty quickly to not only build know, like, and trust, but to actually also get them ready to actually do business with you. So whether that is coaching, whether that is a course or a program or a product, your lead magnet should almost serve as a qualifier in order for people to take that next logical step with you. And it doesn't have to be over complicated. For some people, it might be a discovery call. First, in other cases, it might be like I set up a very high converting um, email sequence for my uncle who has an insurance agency years ago, and that it people would go online and request a quote. The request for quote would be sent to him, and then the quote would be drawn up, a very basic easy quote, and then it went out to them. But then there was also some follow-up, and just by having that follow-up in place, he converted more of those quotes that he was getting from online than he ever had before. Like, it surged. And so it doesn't have to be overly complicated. It could be a quote if you're like an insurance agency. It could be a consultation. It could be a quiz. Like when I sold I actually still sell skincare and beauty products. I had an online quiz that actually did the brunt of the work for me in terms of personalizing someone's regimen for them, because that was always the top question. What is the order of operation? So that quiz helped them with the 3 steps that everybody needs, and then personalized and customized treatments and serums and that. So your lead magnet definitely needs to be a part of the buyer's journey in ascending, but also get them ready to do business, to take that next logical step.
So if your offer is the entree, then the lead magnet is like the appetizer. It's just
Pretty much.
whetting people's appetite for it, and it should be related to what your offer is. It can't be, like if you're a weight loss coach, you wouldn't have a lead magnet that's about car maintenance.
Well, right. And even if it's aligned with being, what did you say, a chiropractor? Like, it still needs to be aligned with what you offer, because if it's aligned with something that you don't offer, it really doesn't make sense, right? Because you want to give them a reason to not only fall in know, like, and trust with you, but to get ready for doing business with you. So was it 2018? I created a course that was, all around developing your online influence to convert more strangers into customers. And the lead magnet for that was a 5-day video challenge. And prior to that 5-day video challenge, I pumped out 5 days of live video where I gave value. And at the end, well, really the middle, in the end, I had a call to action to join the free video challenge. And all of that content basically served up the need for the video challenge nicely. And then on the 3rd day of the video challenge, there was a webinar where I presented a training, and in that training offered the ability to join this class. And so it just all needs to logically flow. And we live in a time now where you leverage your content as a lead magnet, especially like your live video. You can leverage that as your lead magnet.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, sometimes, like people create a lead magnet just because they have an idea, but how do you know when it's working or when it's time to like maybe tweak it or maybe even throw it out and create a new lead magnet?
Well, it depends on if it's converting, if people are, first of all, signing up for it, and then once they are signing up for it, what's happening after that, right? So what's your typical sales cycle? Is it speeding up your sales cycle, slowing down your sales cycle, or not converting the sales at all? So each one of those is going to have a different remedy. So you have to be in tune with your analytics, have your key performance indicator target what you'd like to see it at. And if it's above or below, then you're going to, make adjustments based on where the key performance indicator is. So, mine, what works, I don't really mess with it. I don't really mess with it if it's working. If not, I will, make tweaks to it. Like my lead magnet for Pin Profits Mastery right now, I think it needs some tweaking. It actually converts really well, but what I would like to do is shorten it. I think it's too long. Because it's an hour-long training. I think I need to shorten it. So I'm in the process of doing that. I also will go through and I will look at how my emails are performing and run them through the same measuring stick of, what's the key performance indicator and the target that I want. And if it's above or below, then I remedy it each, depending
Right.
on where it is.
Now, so that was interesting what you said about that. You said you've got this hour-long training that you think is too long. And I've been hearing from people saying that because people are really busy and people's attention spans are less, that lead magnets that are really kind of bite-sized, that people can action really quickly, that doesn't take a lot of time to go through, that those are performing better than bigger offerings. What's your thoughts on that, or does it depend on the audience?
I think it depends on the audience. I think it also depends on the price point and what the next logical step is, right? So if it's something that's going to have a higher price ticket, which to me is $1,000, $1,200 or higher, I think a little bit longer is warranted. Pin Profits Mastery is now $555, and I'm just finding, again, based on different platforms as well, it converts really nicely on Pinterest to people signing up for it, on TikTok. But I don't think that the TikTok mindset is to sit through an hour-long training. So I might, and it does come with a PDF. So I might just turn it into some sort of PDF and maybe a 3 to 5 minute training instead, kind of walking them through the video. So there's, it's all trial and error. And that's what people have to go into it with, is a mindset of testing and figuring it out.
Okay. And then, so if you've got the lead magnet, how are you driving traffic? So you've mentioned TikTok. What are some other ways that people can get new people to their lead magnets?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. So I opportunities like this. I'm trying to change my link. I don't know what the link is there, but I want to change that. So you can go and be public facing and collaborate. And anytime you're like a featured guest on a podcast, a featured guest on a live stream, you should come prepared with a gift for the audience, just like you would to someone's home with a bottle of wine. You can, it's a pop-up. I have pop-ups on my website, and mine are dynamic. So it will depend on the category that they're visiting on my blog, and different categories have different lead magnets. I've created lead magnets specifically for various summits and online speaking opportunities that I've had the privilege of being the guest for. You can, Pinterest is great. Pinterest is a great place to drive traffic to your lead magnet. Same with YouTube, right? So in your scripting for live video is a great way to drive traffic. I collect a lot of leads from live video. And the great thing is, using StreamYard, I'm not always live. I have a bank, I have a library of content. I'm actually recording this one. That's why I want to change that link. I don't know how to change it. Oh, there it is, edit name. Okay. I will use this recording and add it into my repertoire. And it's like syndication, like Different Strokes or The Cosby Show, how it's in syndication. Or when I was growing up, we would come home and watch the Brady Bunch after school. And so I have this system that's repurposing and resharing old live streams, and I collect leads that way without even really physically having to show up. So you can always find a way to promote your lead magnet. In-person events is a great way, right? So whether you're at a vendor fair, You can do some sort of giveaway to encourage people to sign up for your lead magnet on the spot, through their phone. You don't even have to have like your own iPad or laptop there. That you can have them use the phone to sign up. You can do raffles and giveaways. You can always, if you're speaking on stage, when you get on stage, during your introduction and after your introduction, you should offer your lead magnet or tease it. If you stay till the end, I've got a gift for you, and it's valued at, and then get them to sign up that way. When you do that, I do suggest you have them text a number instead of a link, and then have the text messaging funnel set up to deliver everything.
Yeah, and there are tools that will give you a number and like text the word magnetic and you'll get my lead magnet or something like that. So that's really, really useful. QR codes. I actually used to have on the back of my business card, I had my lead magnet with like the picture and the little call to action and a link, so that when I was at in-person events, I could hand them out. What are some other ways to get people to your lead magnet?
Well, I think the thing is you have to match up and understand that there are different lead magnets for where a person is in your funnel, right? Because you've got your top of funnel, you've got your middle of funnel, and your bottom funnel, right? So, a lot of beauty and skincare brands want to go immediately to a discount off of your first order. That's more of a bottom of the funnel, though, right? That's somebody who has spent some time and it has ascended, right? But at the top of the funnel, that's where you want your quiz, right? Your top and even middle of the funnel. So I think the key is to always be thinking of where is somebody when you're going into a conversation, when you're going to a networking meeting, when you are going live, when you are creating a piece of content. Who am I targeting? Where are they in the buyer's journey? And where would I like to take them to next, right? So typically on social media, it's going to be a top of funnel lead magnet. Once they're in my email sequence, however, in my nurture sequence, after a certain period now, and they haven't pulled the trigger, and I've been trying to move away from violent language, but that just came out the way that is. So if they haven't converted, now I'm going to put them into a re-engagement sequence, and that might include offering them a deeper in the funnel lead magnet designed to help them get to the next step.
And deeper in the funnel, would that be something like a master class or a webinar?
Yeah, like a private master class. A webinar is a perfect one because, like we already talked about, your top of funnel lead magnet, you want it to be something really quickly. And so like in the case of Pin Profits Mastery, that lead magnet worked really well because I was getting referrals in that. And so it's really great with a warm market to be able to send them to a 45-minute, hour-long video training. But with a cold market like I have on TikTok, it's probably not the best thing. And I've just been lazy. And even though I get the leads, I can speed up my sales cycle though by tightening up that top of funnel lead magnet for the brand new cold market person who's never really met me before.
Now, once somebody download, like say your lead magnet is a checklist or a guide or like a PDF download, for example, what kind of nurture sequence do you have after that? How long is it typically to get people to take the next step if it's coming from top of funnel, absolutely cold audience?
Absolutely cold audience. And to be completely truthful with you, you are going to want to get them on a Zoom or a phone call or in private messenger. And the sooner you can do that, you can close the gap and convert a lot faster. And outside of that, I mean, you could be, it's a patience game, right? It can, some depending on where they are with awareness, are they problem aware? Are they solution aware? Are they you aware? It can take anywhere from immediately to 24 months, right? I've had people on my list for 5 years before they pulled the trigger. Each person is going to be different. So it really becomes a matter of knowing your numbers, your batting average, and making sure you're swinging the bat enough and getting enough people on your list. I was live earlier and I shared how my highest my highest pay in full, it was a 7-day sales cycle. She
Wow.
discovered me I did a watch party. Again, repurposing and resharing content. Did a watch party when you could do those, shared it into a Facebook group where my ideal client was known to gather. And even though it was a watch party, I was still in there working the comments and chatting with people. And I dropped my lead magnet, and within a week of worth of email, she was at it, emailed me directly, and we set up a phone call. And at the end of that phone call, she pulled out her credit card and we transacted. So it's really not, I'll be honest with you. My experience, the people spending the more money, they're faster decision makers. People spending the smaller amounts of money sometimes take a lot longer. You don't know if money's an issue, what it is, but sometimes, I mean, it can take several years. I mean, I literally have had someone on my list. They were on my list a good 5 years before they converted. So that's why I say, as long as they're opening the emails, they don't even have to be clicking. If they're opening the emails, they stay on my list until they unsubscribe, buy, or die.
Fabulous. All right. So if somebody wants to know more and they're like, okay, I really want some extra help, how can people get in touch with you, Tamara?
Yeah, they can, if they go to tamarahamilton.com, they can click contact, and they can even text message me at 414-404-6040. But if they go to tamarahamilton.com/resources, there is a button. And if they click that button, it's going to open text messages and they can contact me from there.
Okay. And then you updated the link on the bottom. Tell us about that.
That is my lead magnet checklist for magnetic leads. And so when you get that, it will give you, a 8-point checklist for creating your lead. Yeah.
So you can look at your lead magnet and see if it fits those criteria, and if you need to update it. All right.
Yeah. I also do lead magnet audits. So, again, download that checklist, get on my list, and you'll have my email and can contact me, and we can talk about scheduling an audit as well.
And I think an audit is an excellent idea, because it's always good to have like an extra pair of eyes of somebody who's not intimately connected with your business, because like they can be more objective than you can about your own things. And sometimes having an audit will spot a weakness that you didn't know, or an opportunity that you're, leaving leads on the table because you didn't think of it. So I think that's a fabulous offer, Tamara, to get people to really, because the lead magnet really is sort of the entry point to your business, and, get people in, and then you can, have the opportunity to turn them into customers.
Well, and I think for a lot of people, it really boils down to automating your lead process, right? Because if you're watching this, chances are you already have leads. But the problem is they're falling through the cracks because the follow-up is not on autopilot. It's not automated, right? So so you can really simplify it and understand that anybody you talk to can be a lead. But instead of just talking to them, you want to get them, like, I'm driving you to this lead magnet checklist so that I don't trust myself to always remember to follow up with you. You're in the funnel and the follow-up is happening on autopilot. So I think for a lot of people, the content is the lead magnet. The conversation is the new lead, but you don't just want them on Mark Zuckerberg's Messenger. You need them on your actual email list.
Absolutely. So Tamara, thank you so much for joining us today. And my apologies for the time zone mix up that happens when we're all around the world.
Yeah.
So thank you for having us here today. And everybody, if you don't have a lead magnet, get Tamara's lead magnet checklist and get one. And if you have one, get the checklist to see if there's ways you can make it better and make it convert better. And then if you're really keen, get that audit from Tamara, because that's a fabulous opportunity. So go check out tamarahamilton.com/magnetic leads. Thanks, everyone.